Since 1998, Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport has had the distinction of being the world's busiest airport. With 120 million passengers expected annually by the end of the decade, Hartsfield-Jackson is in the midst of a multi-billion-dollar expansion that includes new terminals and the recently completed fifth runway. The 9,000-foot runway was opened in May of 2006, and its construction remains an engineering and logistical feat. With a price tag of $1.3 billion, it is reportedly the largest public works project, excluding interstate highways, in Georgia's history. With a 400-foot bridge over a 10-lane interstate, it is the first road tunnel in the state of Georgia and the first runway bridge of this span length in the world. With millions of dollars in delay costs mounting each week, airport planners developed an aggressive 4-year schedule by which the world's most important runway would be operational. More than 17 million yards of fill would be needed to bring the runway to the proper grade, which was an average difference of 19 feet from the initial elevation. Airport officials needed an innovative transportation solution that would preserve air quality and have low impact on traffic congestion. They turned to a consortium to move the Earth that would become Atlanta's fifth runway. Stevens MDS, based in Lawrenceville, Georgia, would bring the innovation that built the world's most important runway. Stevens assembled 485 acres from 228 parcels, all within 5 miles of the airport. The plan of Stevens MDS was bold and innovative. Fill would be borrowed from these sites, including 2 existing rock quarries that had excess overburden. Managing partner John D. Stevens constructed a 5-mile overland conveyor system that would eventually transport enough dirt and aggregate rock to fill the Georgia Dome 6 times. Manufactured by Continental Conveyor and Equipment Company, the conveyor being used is rated SEMA Grade E, the highest quality available by the Specialty Equipment Manufacturers Association. Dirt was loaded from excavators at various points along the path of the conveyor. Crushers reduced rock into aggregate size appropriate for stabilizing the runway fill. At its peak, the variable speed system moved material at a rate of over 50,000 cubic yards per day to 4 discharge points on the runway site. As a result, only 3 miles of the system is made up of 72-inch belts, which can transport 7,000 tons per hour. Over 9,000 feet of the system is comprised of 48-inch belts, capable of transporting 4,000 tons per hour. Easily adaptable, the system can roll with the terrain or use transfer points to change elevation or direction. Computerized controls and safety features keep the conveyors running safely and efficiently. The entire system is controlled from a master control room that receives data from sensors mounted on the conveyor and video cameras and computer data collected from 11 motor control centers. As for safety, a simple pull of a cable along the catwalks shut down all conveyors from behind that point. Clean electric transportation is provided by multiple 500 horsepower motors that move the soil with minimal noise and without the exhaust emissions of traditional haul trucks. The conveyor system proved to be the most reliable and cost-efficient means of moving bulk materials. As a result of the bold and innovative thinking of the Stevens team, which was led by project manager Joe Cantrell and project engineer Kenneth Walker, the project was hailed for its minimal impact on the environment, traffic, and air quality. Had the 17 million yards of fill been transferred by traditional dump trucks in the same time period, it would have required 1,650,000 round trips at 10 miles each, or 2,171 truck trips per day, 7 days per week for 25 months. Statistically, 87 vehicle accidents would likely have been associated with the 16,500,000 truck miles that were taken off the road. In addition to the added traffic congestion and accidents, the trucks would have emitted 53 tons of hydrocarbons, 42 tons of carbon monoxide, 1,022 tons of nitrogen oxides, and 17 tons of particulates into the air. And by transporting the soils undercover, dust was kept to a minimum, and work even continued in light rain. The project was not without its challenges. With the Flint River and its tributaries nearby, a 3.5-acre man-made pond was constructed for wildlife and wetlands mitigation. Over 28 local, state, and federal permits for the surface mining operation were obtained in order to convey the fill material. The conveyor crosses 4 major highways, including Interstate 285, the Flint River in 2 locations, and a wetland area. After the 5th runway was complete, the conveyor was realigned to cross under the active runway and its taxiways to provide fill for the new international and south terminals. An additional 4.5 million cubic yards of soil and rock has been transported by the conveyor for terminal expansions, thereby removing hundreds of thousands of trucks from the roads, making the roads safer and the air cleaner. The conveyor was constructed for the runway project in less than 6 months, and with pre-engineered components, can be moved within or relocated to another job site with an ease that makes resale attractive for any owner.